Hello and welcome to the first video of the Garden Magic tutorial, where we will be discussing the very first section of the Toxandria's Garden Magic Planner, the ways to go about it, and how to get your information in a concise and practical manner, so you too can put a little bit of magic into your own garden. Now, if you haven't obtained your very own copy of the Garden Magic Planner yet, it is available on Amazon, but you can also get it from your favorite brick and mortar bookstore if you prefer. As you can see, your Garden Magic Planner is divided into different sections, and not all of them are necessary steps that you have to take in order to get some magic into your garden. This first step is one of those examples. If you are not into biodynamic gardening and you solely want to work with the moon and or the 7 traditional planets, that is just fine. You can skip this step altogether. I, however, do not, because this section is based on all the wisdom that Mrs. Maria Thun, an avid follower of Mr. Rudolf Steiner, the founder of biodynamic gardening, has gathered during her years of practical research on the best times for sowing the seeds of many different plants, fruits, vegetables, and trees. Now, with that being said, Mrs. Maria Thun came to the conclusion that all these plants we find in our garden could be divided into 4 distinct categories, namely the root plants, the leaf plants, the flower plants, and the fruit and seed plants. Now, making a story that comprises many decades very short, Mrs. Thun came to her conclusions when she noticed that when the moon traveled through the zodiac signs of Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, her radishes, yes, indeed, she used the humble radish for her experiments, tended towards root formation. When the moon was to be found in the Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio zodiac signs, Mrs. Thun's radishes were more inclined towards leaf formation. When the moon visited the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, the formation of flowers in the radishes took the foreground. And when the moon was crossing through the zodiac signs of Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, fruit and seed formation took the upper hand. Now, this is the basis from where I start my garden magic. But, as I have mentioned before, if this isn't your cup of tea and you solely want to work with the phases of the moon and or the 7 traditional planets, by all means feel free to skip this step altogether. But if you, like me, want to incorporate this wisdom into your garden magic, the first thing one needs to be aware of is in which of the aforementioned categories your vegetable or your herb or your tree resides. In short, are you dealing with a root, leaf, flower, or fruit plant? Now, for most of the root plants, this is quite obvious. Under this category fall all the types of carrots, shallots and onions, garlic, leek, potatoes and sweet potatoes, beets, beetroot, rutabaga, root tubers, horseradish, radishes, celeriac, parsnip, turnip, salsify, Jerusalem artichoke, any green manure crops, and so on. The second category covers the leaf plants, which include all different sorts of cabbages, Brussels sprouts, Swiss chard, bok choy, tatsoi, chop suey, spinach, kale, collards, celery, lettuces and salad greens in all their varieties, mizuna, endive, komatsuna, chicory, asparagus, mustards, rhubarb, and so on and so forth. Now, don't be fooled by our friend the kohlrabi, which is also part of this family of leaf plants. Its delicious pale green, white, or purple tubers are not roots, as you might assume at first sight, but they are in fact thickened stems as they grow above ground. The third main category is the domain of the flower plants, of which you have the cauliflower, broccoli, wild broccoli, artichoke, cardoon, but of course also all the flowers, including the many different sunflowers and rose varieties. The fourth and last category is reserved for all the fruit or seed plants, like there are peas, beans, zucchini, pumpkin, squash, gourd, loofah, cucumber, tomatoes, paprikas and peppers, jalapenos, eggplant, corn and any other grains like amaranth, buckwheat, millet, quinoa and oats, peanuts, lentils, okra, tomatillo, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, cranberries, huckleberries, Cape gooseberries, melon and watermelons, ground cherries, koi cherries, bananas, alpine strawberries, lychee tomatoes, currants, apples, pears, cherries, plums, peaches, nectarines, apricots, figs, lemons, oranges, limes, grapes. The list goes on, but you grasp it by now which of your plants fall into the fruit category. Now, to be able to complete the second part of this first section, one must be able to find out in which zodiac sign the moon is residing during any given time. There are two ways I go about that, which I will show you in the next part of this series.